What's happening, Duelist? Synchro Menace here, and I've got a new deck profile for you. This, as far as the extra deck, I mean, I guess it's more Exceeds based. At least my build is. There aren't a whole lot of links. Um, yeah, it's just links and Exceeds. It's mainly Exceeds, but it's got some links in it as well. But you don't really need the extra deck per se to run this deck. But if you are if you like decks that swarm and have a bit of control and a bit of uh, self-produced protection, then this deck is right up your alley, especially if you're familiar with the video game series known as Dynasty Warriors. So, if you are unfamiliar with what I'm speaking on, then this deck profile is Ancient Warriors. So for starters, I've got one copy of Zeus Kong, a playset of Liu Zhuan, two copies of Zugong, a playset of the best play starter in the archetype, Sun Mu. You want to have this guy in your opening hand every single time. Two copies of Zhang Yuan, one copy of Zhang Day, two copies of Lu Bu. I know it's Lu Feng on here, but if you're familiar with Dynasty Warriors, you know this gentleman here as Lu Bu. And one copy of Cao Day. Now for the spells and traps, I've got a playset of 3 visits, two copies of East by South Winds, and two copies of Changban. Now for the supporting characters in this cast, just a few. I've got a playset of Effect Veiler, my favorite hand trap, and a playset of a new boss monster that I didn't think I would actually want to get a playset of, but having a playset basically is it's such a good idea. And that monster is Alpha, the Master of Beasts. If you can afford a playset of Alpha, get it. Now for the spells and traps, I've got a playset of Tenki. A playset of Tensu. And then for the one-ofs, double or nothing, because I do run the Utopia package. Monster Reborn. And Upstart Goblin. For the traps, we've got 2 copies of Dust Tornado, 2 copies of Lost Wind, which is essentially 4 copies of Lost Wind, and 2 copies of Torrential Tribute. Now for the extra deck, I've got a playset of the Ancient Warriors Link Double Dragon Lords, 1 Abyss Dweller, and for the Utopia package, I've got 1 Utopia Double, 1 regular Utopia, That's that one package. And then for the other package, regular Utopia alternate. That's 39. And lightning. And to round off this extra deck, one copy of Cardinal. So basically I use this card to return my Fire Fist support cards, the 2 continuous spells, to the deck and shuffle materials on the field. And the grave, actually, it manipulates the grave as well. And Tiger King. And then, of course, because Sun Mu is a water monster, and he's not the only water monster in here, he's just the most viable one, I've got Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome. And to round it off, got one each of these nightmares. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my Ancient Warriors deck profile. This deck is pretty fun. It's definitely rogue. I don't mind, though. I prefer rogue decks, to be honest. I'm still learning how to work with this deck. I do think it's a pretty fun deck. It does have that element of surprise if the opponent is unfamiliar with it. And it can definitely swarm the field and take over the duel. So let me know in the comments what you think. Hope you try it out yourself and maybe you'll like it. With that, Synchro Menace is out.